Choir. If you have your Bible, would you turn with me to 1 Corinthians chapter 12. I'm saying amen. Amen. Put your piece of paper there and then turn over to Romans chapter 12. Romans chapter 12. You got it? Now about first man. You may need to pull the monitor down up here, lower middle left. Would you stand with me in reverence and honor for the reading of God's Word? 1 Corinthians chapter 12, beginning verse 27. Now you are the body of Christ and a member individually, and God has appointed these in the church. First apostles, second prophets, third teachers. After that, miracles, then gifts of healing, helps, administration, varieties of tongue. Are all apostles, are all prophets, are all teachers, are all workers of miracles. Do all have the gift of healing? Do all speak with tongues? Do all interpret? But earnestly desire the best gift. Yet I show you a more excellent way. Let's pray together. Father, we come to you this morning thankful for this day, for this time together. I pray, Father, that you would bless our time together and that you would speak into our hearts. As we look at the gifts that you so wonderfully given us, Father, I pray that you would challenge us today. If there's an area that we lack these gifts, I pray that you would, through the Holy Ghost, bring conviction and change. I pray and ask you, Father, to empower me. Father, I have no knowledge apart from the knowledge of Christ. Father, I pray that you would give that knowledge this morning, that you would impart it upon your people, and that our lives would change. We love you, Father. We thank you for this time together, and we ask you to speak powerfully into our hearts and into our lives. And Father, right now, we claim the blood of Jesus over this congregation. Father, that you would keep the enemy at bay, that you would not allow him to penetrate into our minds or into our emotions. That, Father, that you would cast him far away from this place. That the Spirit of the living God would have freedom to roam and to go to and fro, to seek out our hearts and to reveal truth. So, Father, we bind Satan and his demonic forces and we cast them into dry places. They have no power nor authority in this place. We ask now that you would do a great work. Father, we love you. We thank you again for this time and ask you to speak powerfully into our hearts. In Jesus' name. Amen. Ms. Gail, you need to pull these monitors down. We're taking back. I don't think she's in there. Brother Pete, could you pull these monitors down? I don't think he's in there. I know the rapture didn't happen because I'm saying I tell you what, I'll just turn it off until we can get it. So this is going to feed back and that's going to interfere with preaching. And I really don't need it to start. Amen? Amen. If you're a guest, last week we began to look at the spiritual gifts. And last week we looked at the first three found in 1 Corinthians chapter 12, beginning in verse 28. We learned last week that there's the gift of miracles, which is a powerful prayer ministry, an accessory prayer. Not everybody has the power in that prayer. We learned that last week. We learned about healings. That is, people that have the ability to make God's people whole, either physically or spiritually or mentally. And we also learned that there's a gift of helps. Everybody can possess this spiritual gift. It's very simple. It's just someone that sees something that needs to be done, and they take the initiative to do it without asking, and they do it out of love and do it out of care for the pastor so that he can be about doing the things that he needs to do. We need plenty of helpers. Amen? This morning we're going to look at one of the last ones in 1 Corinthians, and then we're going to turn to Romans chapter 12. That's why I had you go there. We're going to look at maybe 5 or 6 today. I'm going to be challenged to keep this. I see some of y'all, oh Lord, he's going to do 5 or 6. Because next week I'm dedicating the whole preaching to the gifts of tongues. There's so many people that misunderstand that wonderful gift. And we'll look next week at the gift of tongues. We'll look at how it is administered, what it's meant for. We'll look at the right way, and we'll talk about the wrong way. Amen? But this morning I want us to look at these other 7 gifts that are mentioned here and in Romans so we can have an understanding. Now, I said this last week. You can't perform these gifts on your own. You'll look at these and you'll say, well, I do that. I do that to a certain point. These gifts are a gift given by the Spirit of God through the Spirit of Christ himself. And when you have these gifts, you are as Christ himself administering and doing the gifts. And so when you have this spiritual gift, it is actually the Spirit of God that is working through you. In Romans, we'll look at, it says, by the grace that is given to each one of us, and by the faith which is measured unto us. The more faith and the more grace you have in Christ, the greater the gift works through you to affect other people. It doesn't just become a modification of behavior or ideas. It is actually who you become. You become this spiritually gifted person with this gift. And it's obvious to everybody. And so this morning I want us to look at verse number 28 at the next gift. If you're writing them down, this is gift number 4. All right? Number 4 is administration. This is a wonderful Greek word that means to steer. It means to guide. It refers to a helmsman or somebody in the back of the boat that would take the rudder and actually control the direction that the boat's going. It means to govern. Somebody that has the gift of administration is someone that is in the body that knows what the goal of the body is and that is doing all they can do to lead others to be part of that and moving the body towards success. If a helmsman's in a boat and he turns the boat left, which way does the boat go? If he turns it right, which way does it go? And so if he keeps it right dead instead in the middle, where's the boat go? So the helmsman is the person that is guiding and directing the boat. An administrator is someone in the body of Christ that knows where the church wants to go. They know the vision. They know what God wants them to do and where God wants to lead. And what they do is they put all the resources together to accomplish the goal or the vision. Now, not everybody's an administrator. Administrators like the process of gathering resources and pulling resources together. They like getting involved in things like the financial end of it. How are we going to pay for it? And how do we go about this? This spiritual gift is greatly needed in the church today, because if a church is not organized and it doesn't have a good administrator, then it's got chaos. And it has failure to go forward with the vision. It has failure to do the business of the church. Now, I learned this the hard way as being a pastor, but a church is a whole lot like a business. You can only minister as much as you have coming in. You can only do as much as you got people to do with. And so every church needs an administrator. Miss Beverly fulfills the role partly in that she loves the financial end. She is our Jew, amen? She keeps the books straight. She makes sure that, with help from Mary Lee and from Jennifer, they make sure that our budgets and all of our money is above board, that we know what we got, where we got, when we got, who got. I mean, they take care of all those things. And you say, why is that important? Why is that gift important? You got to remember, when Jesus and through Paul shared these spiritual gifts, he knew that he would bring the body together and that the body would have to function. In that function, there is business. You got to have money. You got to have people. You got to have buildings. You got to have ways to get to ministry and to do things. Jesus knew that there would be a need of administration within the church body. Now, Brother Sam hates administration. Y'all all right? I absolutely hate it. I don't like to fool with it. I do it because that's part of the role of the pastor, is to make sure that. But if God would give somebody in this church with the gift of administration, I would gladly let them administrate. And I'll pull out of all that stuff. Y'all all right? So if that's you, you just let Brother Sam know. I'll even call you the pastor of administration if that will help. I'll give you a title. Amen. You just take all that stuff, all that daily stuff about making sure the bills is paid, making sure that money's coming in, and making sure that we got what we need when we need it, making sure that we got toilet paper in bathrooms and the cleaning people's got to clean the stuff. Y'all take that off of me, and then I won't have to worry with it. So if you got that gift of administration, and you sitting on it, that's sin. That's sin. I'm telling you right now, before God, you need to come to this altar and confess this morning, take me by the hand and say, I'll be the minister of the administration. Well, Lord, dangerous. I'm praying and preaching things. Administration is important. Don't you like a business that's run well? Now, I know what somebody's thinking right now. Bless God, the church ain't a business. It's about reaching souls. It is about reaching souls, but you've got to be organized and structured. You've got to make sure that you've got the funds and the calendars of events. You got to make sure you got everything you need to win people to Jesus Christ. God just don't do it all, just kind of happen. Y'all right? God expects, and by the way, do we have an excellent God? Amen. Do we have a great God that is perfect in everything that he does? Do you think God wants the church to be helter-skelter and non-caring about administration? That's inconsistent with who he is. He is an excellent God, a perfect God. He wants his gifts to be exercised perfectly in the church. That's why he gives these gifts. By the way, there was no greater administrator than Jesus Christ. No greater administrator. Now turn to Romans chapter 12. We're going to look at a few found in Romans chapter 12. I want to look at a few of them here this morning. Beginning verse number 6. Having been gifts, differing according to the grace that is given to us. Can I stop right there? Let me just tell you what Paul's saying. Paul's saying, listen, everybody's got a gift. If you're saved and born again and you're indwelled with the Spirit of the living God, which means Jesus lives inside of you, he is a gift. Amen. It's the gift of salvation. It's the free gift. Now, once he gives you the Spirit of God, he wants to begin to exercise his spiritual gifts through us. See, all these gifts are him. So he wants to start working in through us. And so what Paul is saying, by the grace, by the measure of grace which is given to us. What's that mean? What's that mean? Here's what it means. The more that you believe and trust in God, the more you believe and trust in him, the more grace he exercises on your life through forgiveness and through cleansing. The more that he works in you to clean you up, the more clean you get, the more to come out. So Paul says, by the grace which is given you, all of us have been given grace by salvation. So we've all had a measure of grace upon our life. And you say, here today, you're going to say, am I not saved? Well, it's the grace of God that brought you here today so that you can hear that He loves you and He'll give you the grace to get saved if you'll just call on His name. Amen. Now, once you call on His name now, He wants you to let Him work in you so He can change you, clean you up, make you more like Christ. And the more He makes you like Christ, here's what Paul says, that measure of grace ought to change. Instead of you just taking grace, you start giving grace. Well, that's a good message. I ain't got time there. Some of us are just takers and not givers. He who leads with diligence. He who shows mercy with cheerfulness. Right there are four spiritual gifts, four spiritual gifts given that are very important in the church. Number 5 is the gift of exhortation. Exhortation. This Greek word means calling to one's you even face disillusionment. You get discouraged around every corner. And what God needs in the body is encouragers. People who will be called out, that will come upon beside somebody and will be their helper. We have an Old Testament reference of this. Remember when the nation of Israel was going into its first battle? And you remember Moses, as long as he held up the rod, what happened? Nation of Israel won. But Moses in his flesh got tired. I don't know about you, but if you take a 10-pound staff and hold it up, you might be able to hold it for a little while, but the battle's not over in a little while. It's raging on until somebody becomes victorious. His old flesh just pulled him down. His old flesh just gave way down. That staff started coming down. And two godly men recognized it. They said, hey, when the staff is being lowered, we're losing. But as long as the staff is lifted up, we're winning. Those two godly men came beside Moses and said, we'll hold up your arms so that the nation of Israel will prevail. Well, they were encouragers. They came along beside Moses, partnered with him. I look in the New Testament, the Apostle Paul. Here's a man that God used to reach Gentiles. That's us. I love the Apostle Paul because God used him to reach us. God called him and said, I want you to go to that heathenistic group, that people that don't know me, those people that are far from me, and I want you to win them to Christ. And boy, it must have been terrible going to those cities and them have 19 different gods. And for Paul to stand up and say there's only one God, the one God is the Lord Jesus Christ, and people stoning him and people cussing him out and people trying to discourage him. He needed somebody that would come along beside him and say the right stuff and do the right stuff so that he could keep winning the war. Yeah, Barnabas and Mark. Barnabas, get that name means son of encouragement. What a great name that is. Son of encouragement. I'm telling you right now, the Church of Jesus Christ needs more encouragers than it ever has. Why? Because war. We're told that the enemy is winning. He's on every side. I mean, every time you pick up the newspaper or you look on the internet or you look at the evening news, all it is despair. Murder everywhere. People raping people everywhere. Destruction everywhere. We've got our government writing laws of sin and okaying sin to become law. And it just looks dark and bleak at this time. The enemy's running around saying, he's going to lose, you're going to lose, you're going to lose. Christians being crucified worldwide. I saw the other day where the Muslims killed 19 women because they were virgins and they wouldn't have sex with ISIS. And put them in a cage and execute them all. That kind of stuff's going on. All around the world, very discouraging it. Let me ask you a question. On a personal level, you ever face something in your life where you got disappointed? Come on now, y'all not doing y'all preach, y'all talk about preach. Get sounding a little encouragement. You encourage me, I promise y'all preach. You ever had times where you disappointed? You ever had times where you were disillusioned by something, an idea, or something that somebody said, and you made something that they say into a big thing? And it was just a little minor thing that shouldn't have affected your life at all because of disillusion. You think you know what somebody implies and what they mean, so you react because you know it all. Your finances ever got upside down and you didn't know what you were going to do? You ever had to deal with teenagers? That's all I got to say. Well, I'm telling you, when you're having a bad day, you're having a bad moment, there is nothing like somebody sending you a text saying, I'm thinking about you. There's nothing like somebody sending you a card through the mail and saying, hey, I want to tell you something. I remember something about this day about you. It's your birthday, it's your anniversary. Sending a card to you and saying, I'm just thinking about you. See, that word that says encourager means somebody that will come along the side. You can't be an encourager if all you think about is you and you never come alongside anybody. See, this word is interesting in the Greek text because it's close to the same Greek word that we use for partnership, koinonia. And see, if you're going to be a partner with somebody, you don't want to be a silent partner, you want to be in on everything, amen? Well, that's what it's meant to be in the church. The church is a family. I don't know about you, but I know a lot about my family, and I wish some of my family I could get away from, but I can't. Because they're family. I got love them, works and all. I'll tell you, when family needs family, you know who's supposed to respond? Family. Well, the church is the family of God. The church is the body of God. Look, God wants us to be intimate with one another, know each other, care about each other, care about our defeats, care about our disillusionment, care about our disappointments, care. We come along beside when you care. Not much of an encourager if you don't care. By the way, it goes back to what I just said about what Paul said, when you get grace, learn how to give grace. Isn't it amazing that somebody, when you need encouragement, God always provides somebody for you to come encourage you, and then you get an opportunity to come alongside somebody else and you ignore it because you don't have time, or because it's something you can't deal with and you don't know how to deal. How many of y'all have ever seen somebody that died and you want to go up to them and you wanted to say something, but you didn't know what to say because it was death and you didn't know how to handle death, so you just didn't come alongside them because you're scared you might mess it up? Well, you know, sometimes you ain't got to say anything. Just give a hug. Just pat a hand. Just say, I just here for you. I don't know what to say. Well, there's all sorts of ministry opportunities in the church for encouragement. Man, I love what you guys do. You're such an encouragement to me. Some of you send me a card for my birthday. You say, that's a small thing. No, it's not. Not when you used to getting a phone call from your dad every year saying happy birthday, Sunday. For the last 4 or 5 years, I hadn't had that for days now. And then somebody take a note and just say, bro, saying just think about you today on your birthday. You see, you know, I use Facebook. I'm no good at it, and I don't write anything on it because if I write something, you wouldn't be able to understand it. Man, I love it when people Facebook and say, bro, saying, we just think about you. There's been times that I've wanted to give up in the ministry. Y'all right? There's been times when I just said, Lord, I'd be a whole lot better off going back to welding for a living than to deal with your people. Y'all do know that's my job, dealing with y'all. You understand that? And so there have been times I wanted to quit, and somebody on Facebook, I go, man, God is. And man, it's a powerful way of encouragement to the pastor. Some of y'all are encouraging to me while I give all these notes. I see some of you out there writing. And that's an encouragement to a pastor to know that his people are trying to learn and that they care about learning, that they want to learn. And I'll tell you what, that fires me up, man. That makes me want to make sure that I give you the right stuff. Knowing that you pray for me, it's a great source of encouragement. Man, do we need encouragement today? Yes. I tell you what you need to do. You need to come along with somebody in ministry that's out there on the front line that's getting beat up, that's facing the enemy day after day after day. You need to come alongside that person and say, man, I need to be encouraged with you with her. I need to join as a partner with them, and I need to pray for them daily. I need to write them words of encouragement. I need to get God to give me things to say to them so to encourage them. Because I mean, they're at the front battles. I'm not, but they are. And I want to be a source of encouragement to you. I'm telling you, this day and time, ministers need encouragers. Well, let's move on to the next one. Verse number 8, he who exhorts in exhortation, and he who gives will live out. Number 6, if you keep score, number 6 is a giving heart. This is someone that shares what material resources they have with liberty and cheerfulness, without thought of return. This includes money, time, and substance, whatever they have. Boy, does the church need givers? You know what I'd like for us to do? Go back to Acts chapter 2, 3, and chapter 4, where it says when the church had need, that everybody sold and everybody brought to the church so that everybody that had a need, where that need could be met, and that they would be not only met for that time, but for an abundance. And there's need. If you're a giver, you take action. If you got the money, you give it. If you don't have the money and you got the resources, you give that. If you don't have either one, you give time. Whatever it takes to meet the need, if you're a giver, you give. He left all the splendors of heaven to come down here to be the greatest giver known to man. And if you're a child of God and that grace has been imparted upon you, you've received salvation, you've received that free gift, the Spirit of God wants to work in you. That spiritual gift is called giving. Now watch it. Some of you have been saved a long time and know an awful lot about God. You ought to be giving. You ought to be giving back to our young people. The Bible says for the older men, teach younger men. The older women teach younger women. You say, well, Sam, man, the grace of God has been poured out on me. Man, I've learned so much over the years. God's done so much in my life. And the only person you're impressing is y'all right? Because you flat sure ain't giving it to nobody else. God's brought you through a situation. Maybe God brought you through a great tragedy. And that in that tragedy, you wondered, why God? So He can impart His grace and build your faith. And now He wants you to become a giver. Give it away. I promise you, He'll put somebody in your path that you can come along beside and encourage, that you can share the great gift of what God did in your life in that tragedy to help them see God in their tragedy. God's people selfish, amen? Amen. We really are. I heard one of them women on one of the Bible studies. I think it was the Shire lady, Tony Evans' daughter. So we don't need no more Bible studies. They've already learned to do. In other words, if you've learned how to give, you learn that Jesus gives. This is a spiritual gift everybody can ask for. Just make me a giver. We don't want to give because we're selfish. Y'all right? We don't want to give because we're afraid we're not going to have for tomorrow. Oh, y'all don't shout me down. Now, this must be one I need to really preach on. I ain't getting no amens or nothing. This must really be where God's going to try to speak some hearts and say, I bless you. I give you an abundance of something. And you're storing it up for a rainy day. And I've got somebody over here doing without. I want you to come along beside them. I want you to give stuff. I'll give you more if I can trust you to give it. That's right. I'll tell you what, God, I can't trust you to give it. I've done worked hard to get it. And I'm accumulating it. I'm going to put it over here and I'm going to keep it. Well, I got a news for you. That same God that allowed you to get it in the first place to take every bit of it away. That's right. He can take every bit of it away. I got a rifle in my house. That an old boy gave me. A Yankee. Everything that he needs to go hunting, you might see it tell you. He'd probably be mad at me right now if he knew I was telling this story. I wonder if Jesus gave to us the way we give to others, what we would think about His giving. That hurt me. Y'all right? I wonder when He looks at our giving, if I take it, I won't be giving much. So, well, saying, what if I don't have anything? Oh, you got something. You got God's grace, you got God's mercy, you got God's love. You may not have any physical things. But I tell you what, the greatest gift you can do is care for somebody and show them that you care for them by being there with them. Really true. I don't have anything. Don't want anything. And I'm willing to give away anything that I got. I had a man give me a pickup truck one time. I gave a pickup truck away. Y'all right? Just, if God says get it, you do know it's not yours to start with, right? And nothing is yours. If you possess the ability to earn it, it's because God enabled you with an ability to earn it. You let God make you sick and watch how quick it'll go away. I'm a smart person. I put myself through college. God didn't help me. Sure He did. Who do you think it was kept you focused? Who do you think it is that gave you the mind to understand those concepts and those ideas so that you could be prepared to do it? Y'all right? I'm telling you, the church needs some givers. Now, we got some great givers here. I just cannot brag them in. Always to each other. It's amazing how you people give when we do a little cake auction. It is. It's really amazing. When somebody paid $250 for a cake, I paid one time. That's a blessed miracle, isn't it? I watch Johnny never ate my cake. You don't know. I tell you what I know about this church. This church is a very giving church. Really is. You guys need to be a part. But listen, we can't sit on that. We got to understand that Jesus is a giver. And when Jesus gives it to us, and we find out there's a need that we need to give to, we just give. And we don't worry about it. Let's go to the next one. Found in verse 8. Verse 8 got a lot in it. He exalts. Exhortation. He who gives, give with liberty. He who leads with. Did you know that that's a spiritual gift? Not everybody's a leader, amen? Amen. How many of y'all consider yourself followers? Okay, well, that's not good. If you ain't a follower, you don't be a leader. And I pull my phone out and record y'all. So you didn't raise that hand. If you ain't a follower, you must be a leader. You got leaders and you got followers, amen? Does everybody make a good leader? No. No. Just because you got the name, does that make you something? No. You can call me a mechanic and Bobby will tell you I ain't one. What is a leader? A leader is someone who stands before the people in such a way as to attend to the direction of the body with such care and diligence, so to motivate others to get involved to accomplish their goals. Wow. I was told one time at a preaching conference that if you're leading and you're a leader and nobody's following, you're not a leader. Because a real leader gets people motivated, he gets people or she gets people plugged in, and they accomplish the goal, and it's done with diligence. I love that word, diligence. You ever been diligent in anything? You know what God implies with that word. Let me tell you something, a leader is somebody that's there until the job gets done. Y'all right? Don't shut me down now. See, so you can't say I'm a leader, and then you ain't. Come on, church. You can't hold a hand and go, oh, I'm a leader, but everything you lead is falling apart. It's not successful. It's not accomplishing the role and the vision of the church. That's it. You may not possess the spiritual gift of leadership. If you just be honest and say, I can't do it. I'd like to help. I'll be a helper. I'll be a follower. I'll do whatever. I'll give to it. I'll do whatever. But don't take the leadership role if you're not a leader. That's right. You know what we do in a small church? We don't look, we look for warm bodies. I told them this year, I said, if we can't find leaders, we just won't have it. The body will suffer, but we won't have it. Because I'm tired of having people that say they're leaders, but they're never here. They're never involved. Their things are not growing. They're not reaching their goals. That's not leadership. Y'all know? Well, we got to fill every role, so we just go out and grab a bunch of warm bodies and throw them in there and say, you got the job. And unfortunately, the job don't get done. So does y'all right? You're just not a good leader. It's okay to say, I don't fit that role. I'm not going to get the job done. So don't ask me. When we did deacon elections the last time we did them, I went to house after house after house, and I had men sitting there looking at me saying, not me. Don't qualify. Don't feel led. And Jesus just to have somebody feel the job, and then or look what it says in the scripture. He who leads with diligence, persistence, consistency. Y'all all right? I don't like that both things. I'm sorry, it's in the book. I'll move on. Number 8. This is the last thing we talk about today, mercy. Look what it says, verse number 8. He who exhorts in exhortation, he who gives with liberation, he who leads with diligence, and he who shows mercy with cheerfulness. This word mercy means to be sensitive toward those who are suffering, whether physically, mentally, or emotionally, so as to feel genuine sympathy with their misery, speaking words of compassion, but more so caring for them with deeds of love to help alleviate their distress. Somebody who possesses the spiritual gift of mercy is usually a peacemaker. You know what Jesus said about peacemakers in Matthew? They shall inherit the earth. Y'all ever run up to somebody that was contentious? Y'all know what contentious means? Argumentative. Doesn't fight and do anything. Y'all right? The Bible talks about a contentious woman. It'd be better for a man to stand under a continual tropical roof than to be in the house with a contentious woman. Y'all right? I had a woman ask me the other day, how come he don't say anything about me? Well, he does in one spot, but it's more angry with me. Sorry. Hang it up with God, we'll get to heaven. You contentious woman, you're going to argue with me. He found out that wasn't me. We'll see if we get to heaven. Some of the meanest people I know are Christians. Y'all right? We want God's mercy, amen? Do we want God's forgiveness? And we want God's grace to pour over us. Isn't it amazing when it comes to our dealings with other people, we lack in this area of spiritual gift called mercy? You let somebody wrong you and the things come down, the nails go out. Amen? All you rednecks, you loading up your pickup truck ready to go. You ready to get out? Just not much mercy exercise. Not much forgiveness, not much grace. Don't want to be a peacemaker. I want to be in there stirring it up with it. Let me hear some good gospel. Let me hear a little good, juicy stuff. Watch where I move my life. Right over there in that stuff. And if I can, I'll cause enough stirring that there'll really be a mess. Then I'll come to Wednesday night prayer and say, y'all don't believe what's going on. I need to pray. Amen? Let me tell you something. You look at an old boy that God poured out an awful lot of mercy. My marriage should have been dissolved. God had mercy. Should not be a father. God had mercy. Shouldn't be a pastor of a wonderful church like this. God had mercy. Should have been killed at least a dozen times. That's just at least. God showed mercy. I think if that much grace and mercy has been poured upon my life, this spiritual gift should be natural. Out of my receiving of it naturally. I should want to be a peacemaker. I should want to come in and help people solve their problem. Show them mercy. Show them kindness. Show them generosity. People have the gift of hospitality. We ain't even got to that one yet. Usually are great people of mercy. They're peacekeepers. That means they like to know people's problems, but they don't like to share them. They just want to be the part of the solution, not part of the problem. And they'll do whatever they can and provide whatever they can and say whatever they can so that the problem can be resolved. Conflict and drama. By the way, that's when we have mercy with God. We have unity, harmony, and peace. Don't like that drama. All that mess around their lives. They like it to be free. It's just, can't we all just get along? Sing kumbaya and everything. Be good. Yeah, that's what I like. What I want. Now watch this one. Paul says, if you got these gifts, in verse 7 he says, if you got these gifts, what you supposed to be doing? Now last week we learned that everybody can have some of these gifts. Matter of fact, everybody can have all of these gifts. Now, you may major in one or two. That might be your predominant. How many of y'all right handed? That's your predominant hand. I'm going to put this best guy. Just kidding, my son. If you're left-handed, it's because that is the prominent hand that you use for everyday functions. You don't even think about it. It just becomes natural. As we grow as children of God, as God matures us, He wants to pour the measure of grace and faith. He wants to fill us up that we can use and possess all of the spiritual gifts in the Bible. It's called fullness of Christ. I listed a bunch of things. Well, Sam, I'm not a very good encourager. Confess that. Ask God to change you. Ask God to put you along beside some people that you can encourage. Ask God to show you ways that you can encourage someone else. Maybe somebody's encouraged you over the years and whatever they did that struck you, man, that was awesome that they did that for me. Turn around. Have you ever heard this phrase? Pass it on. We'll use it. Pass it on. Maybe you're like it in mercy. Maybe you're like me. I'm a prophet. That's my spiritual gift. People come to me for counseling. Sometimes I have to watch it. My wife helped me with this years ago. Because when I first got saved and I first became the preacher, I was mean. Don't y'all say amen. Say amen, I'm going to get you. Somebody come to me counseling, and man, I dropped both barrels on them. Talk about how low down they were, how dirty they were, how they deserved everything that they got. I'm confessing, honest. One day she was doing counseling with me. She said, I'm going to come to youth counseling. You're just mean spirited. You never look at it from a different view. And you're not showing much mercy. Then she said, you don't show me much mercy. She hated when she's right. And the whole time the Holy Ghost was standing there saying, I'm talking to you. I'm using her, but I'm talking to you. I had to ask God to change my ability to show mercy, be more compassionate, more caring toward people. To do to them what Jesus had been doing to me all along. He said, "Say, what if I showed you the mercy you show everybody else?" I got it, God. You know what I had to do? I had to ask God to gift me with the spirit of mercy. He started putting my life into more and more drama so I could prove that I was going to be merciful. Are y'all all right? Now here's the deal. How many of y'all want to be following Jesus? Well, then you got to quit just saying, I'm one part of the Spirit. And you need to start asking God for these spiritual gifts that you lack. You need to let God start, because if you lack in them, here's what you're lacking in. Faith and trust and fellowship of Him. Because He's every one of those. He's every one of those. Did He say, I'll never forsake you, nor shall I leave you, I'll be close to you? Then, brother, what an encouragement that is. Did He say that He showed mercy to those that give mercy? Why would you not want more of Jesus in that area? But you can't get more of Him in that area if you don't exercise the gifts. Y'all know I've been on a workout program. They called me this week, messed my back up, but that's okay. Let me tell you what a workout program is. A workout program is no good if you don't go work out. Amen? Let's go, I want to lose weight and I want to shape up. I got this gym out here, got everything in it, and I'm just going to think about it. I'm just going to pray about it. I'm just going to believe and claim it in Jesus' name. He's going to take 15 pounds. No. You got to exercise that faith. You got to get up and you got to walk out to that gym. You got to put your body through those things so that you can get the result that you want. If you want fullness of Christ in your life, you've got to ask God to fill you and to give you these gifts and to magnify these gifts in your life, give you an opportunity to use them until you grow and accomplish the fullness of Christ. To where you exercise all of these gifts, not just bits and parts and pieces when and where you want, but that it radically changes you and you become that type of person. That's the goal. When I get a spiritual test, people say, well, I'm this, Brother Sam, but and they find out what their gift is, and oh, bless God, that's my predominant gift. That's the only one I'm going to use. Mine's prophecy. I'm a prophet. Man, I just tell it. Tell it straight out of the book. But you know, there's times that telling it, I got to show a little mercy. Telling it, I got to say it in a way that's encouraging to you. I can't just like, well, God, I'm a prophet. You just take it as it comes. I could, but that'd be wrong. And there's no fullness of Christ. There's no love. We'll look at that in a few weeks. Paul says, what good is all these gifts if you don't have the greatest gift, boundless love? It's not exercised in the motivation, the mindset of love. Then you're just wasting your time using the gifts. So I don't know where you are today. You might be here today, but for the first time in your life, you realize that all of these gifts are who you want to become. But you can't become that person until you meet the Lord Jesus Christ. He is this gift. He is the giver of the gift. He is the one that enables you to become this type of person. And so maybe today you need to give your life to Christ. You may be here today and say, Brother Sam, I'm saved. I know I belong to Jesus, but boy, I sure haven't been using my gifts. You got your eyes. Close your eyes. Remember? Petros. You're a piece of the rock. Who is the rock? Jesus is the rock. Amen. You know what Jesus wants to do with your rock? He wants to gift you with every spiritual gift. Every spiritual gift. He wants your life to possess. Not some of them, not bits and pieces of them. He wants you to possess them all. So this week, when you look at your rock, I want you to ask yourself, am I using the gifts that He's given? Will I let Him expand and grow my gifts so I can be the most successful piece of the rock that Jesus has? With head bowed and eyes closed. Sharon is going to come and start playing, and she begins to play. Would you ask yourself a question? We talked about a lot today. There's a lot of gifts there. But I tell you what, Jesus knows what you're lacking. The Holy Ghost of God is the one that brings conviction upon your life in the area that you lack spiritual gifts. It is His job. So right now, where you're at right now, would you just pray and ask Jesus, Lord, are there some of these gifts that I'm not using? Lord, there's some of the gifts I don't possess. I want to change today. I want to become like Jesus. I want to work my life for the fullness of Christ. I'm not satisfied with a little bit of Jesus, a little bit of these gifts. I want them all. I want to become excellent in them all, because He's excellent in them all. I'm going to pray, and if God spoke to your heart, you need to make a decision for you today. These offers will be open. I'll be here, Brother Gary will be here. We'll be glad to pray with you. And by the way, if you got the gifts and you're not using them, the Bible says that's sin. For Him to know, do good, and do it not, sin. You're supposed to use your gifts. So I'm going to pray, and then you come. Father, in the name of Jesus, would you speak to hearts and change lives? In Jesus' name I pray. Heads bowed, eyes closed. If God's spoken to you, you need to make a decision for me. Would you come?